Ladies, I'm not that clumsy. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hope Street Hotel. I have the honour of being your MC for the day. I'm James, or Jamie if you're Tom, Richard or Martin from many, many moons ago. My first thing to do today is welcome to the room, for the first time ever, the newly married Mr. and Mr. Phipps. Sorry, me again. Breaking with convention slightly, but we're going to have a speech before we have the starter, and I think we can all agree she looks absolutely stunning today. So I'd like to introduce the bride, Faye.
Thank you. Right, first of all, I know it's a little bit breaking with tradition, but I just wanted to personally say my wholehearted thanks to absolutely everyone that's came out today and actually supported Tom and I. We've both said we wanted to make this the most special day that we could, and every single person in this room is someone who we both value so much. So I just want to say a wholehearted thank you to that. Can I make a special thank you though to all my bridesmaids, the 5 of them, who've literally made this whole journey from when I got engaged to where we are now, to kind of everything that we've done in between. It was just so special for me, and you've really made it so kind of perfect for me in that way. So thank you, girls. I couldn't wish for that. Also just say a massive thank you to the Phipps clan for welcoming a Scouser into Middle England, you know, the posh fold. You've literally introduced me to so many different things that I didn't know. Before I met you lot, I literally thought wine was just for getting drunk. Now, I genuinely do drink wine and think, this actually tastes nice, I don't just try and down it. So, it's massive thank you. I've literally learned so many things from wine and cheese nights and all of that I didn't know before, so thank you so much for introducing me to that. My next thank you has just got to be for kind of everyone that's here and that's not here. Over my life, and I know over Tom's life as well, we've had a massive privilege of knowing so many people and getting to meet so many people that have actually made such an influence to us. A lot of those people are here today, but some, unfortunately, just can't be. From the likes of Tom's mum, Pat, who I can just imagine right now would be absolutely loving this. The fact that she's got another daughter coming in, she'd be loving that. Not that she ever mentioned it to me. Literally every time I went round to Tom's house when she was here with us, all she used to say to me as soon as I walked in, I always wanted a daughter, all I've ever wanted is a daughter. And literally from that, it made me feel even more part of the family. So that's always been really special to me. So we've got kind of the people that can't be here from Tom's side, but also from my own side, from my grandparents, and also my Uncle John, who couldn't be here today as well. So I just wanted to make a personal recognition to those people. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to light a bit of a candle. So as I do, can we all just raise a glass to those that just can't be here? What do people go like this now, knowing me? I've never been a smoker, so probably burn my finger and everything on this. Yeah, literally I can't get it. Thank you. So, my next little bit is just more a dedication to my mum and dad. I've got 2 brothers, Chris and Jonathan, who are just there. And to be honest, all 3 of us have had a massive privilege that we've been brought up in such an amazing family. We've had a lot of good times and we've experienced a lot together. And I know we've had the privilege of just coming from such great parents. Sorry. anyone who knows me and who knows any of my brothers will literally know that we are the most pampered people in the entire world.
Sorry.
Yeah, literally, Tom absolutely hates this. But, you know, we get our cars washed, we get them serviced, we get our ironing done, we get our washing done. They literally keep us alive. Like, and I think all three of us can agree they do keep us going, kind of thing. But the most special thing that I think my mum and dad actually do instill in all three of us is just the morals that they have put on us. They taught us how to be upstanding people. We wear our hearts on our sleeves. We've always had those morals kind of brought to us straight away. And to be honest, the one thing that I've always valued about them is their ability to just show love to us, and they've always grasped that. And to be honest, that's then led me on to Tom. So everything that I could never say thank you enough to them. And I think all three of us would agree. Like, they're just babes, aren't they? Like, they are. So personally, you two know how much I value you, and I just love to kind of say I'm forever grateful for everything that you've done kind of for me in my life kind of thing, and I just like to say thank you for that. And then that leads just me on to my final thanks, which is to my new husband, which sounds... Still don't feel like old enough to say that, but yeah, so, I mean, it leads me on to my thanks to Tom. You literally, when I met you, you came out of absolutely nowhere. Like, I wasn't looking for anything when we met, and I think everyone who worked in Heenan, Connor, Nick, like, everyone just kept saying to me, Tom's such a babe, you need to meet him, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, whatever. And then we finally met. And then when I did meet you, I realised why everyone said that about you. You've given me so much in terms of just the way you are. You've supported me when I'm not that easy to deal with, let's face it. Like, I'm really not. And you've challenged me when I needed to be challenged, and you've taught me so much in terms of what love is, but not only just what it is, but how to give love and how to feel love in that way as well. And for that, I'll be forever grateful. And in a way, I literally can't wait to like see what goes on in the future. I know that we're going to have some crazy times, because it's us, but I'm just so happy that I get to share this with you. So I'm just so thankful that I get to call you my husband, and we're going to spend the rest of our lives together. So just to kind of conclude, just want to say thank you to everyone, and can we all just like raise a glass just to like everyone who's here with us today. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you all for listening to me ramble as well.
Wind down. The booze is flowing, so we're getting a bit more rowdy. Watching, definitely Redders is getting a bit more expressive. Surely that mouth can't get any more open. Anyway, so time for the next speech. So this is obviously after the bride and groom, probably the main man here. He is probably looking forward to having a much lower insurance bill after hanging out with Tom at the end of the day. So I'd like to introduce the father of the bride, Tony, to make his speech.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you very much. I feel I can call you Jamie and not
You
Jamie.
can.
First thing, thanks, Faye, for that introduction. How can I follow that? Absolutely amazing. But one of my main duty is to welcome you all on behalf of Van and myself to an amazing, emotional and wonderful day for Faye Toms Wedding. There's no doubt about that. Obviously, some of you have made quite a long journey to be here, and we're really grateful. But I think I must mention Ollie and Zara. Short on the honeymoon to be here today. I think they crossed 3 time zones. But that is, to me, a brilliant example of the love, affection, emotion shown to you two today. And I think I particularly am humbled by what they've done to get here today, really are. They've given up their honeymoon, which is amazing, amazing. I also must welcome the Phipps and their extended family to what I like to call the Mitchell family brand. And after Faye's performance, you can see it is a family brand. In particular, obviously, Martin, Richard, Sean, Grace, and I'm sorry, Adam, but our new little Red. Oh, sorry about that, and Finn. But as the head of the Mitchell family, the head of the Mitchell brand, I must welcome you as well, mustn't I?
Don't worry about it, Stone.
In fact, can I now call you Fippo? Is that okay? Do you know, thinking about today, it's such a tremendous feeling for me to walk my only daughter down the aisle. Yes, you are my only daughter. There is no Lisa. Lisa doesn't exist. You are my only daughter. You are my only daughter. And it's particularly poignant for me and for Anne as well, because, as a lot of you will know now, that's the church where we were married 30 years ago. It's our family church. And we've had a few occasions there which haven't been the best. But today, the joy and the happiness that I feel after today will always, always stay with me. There's no doubt about that. Sorry about that. Right. Faye. This beautiful bride, I'll step back. This beautiful bride we see today, this didn't happen by accident.
Yes, it did.
This.
Yes, it did.
Fippo,
said the other day.
Fippo, I'll tell you when you can speak.
Sorry.
This has been 20 years plus in the making. For our very own Disney princess. All the way back to one of our early visits to Disneyland, and we've been lucky to go a couple of times with Christopher, Faye and Jonathan, that's for sure. In fact, and this may be for you, Tom, I was half expecting today Cinderella's wedding chapel, a horse-drawn glass carriage. We didn't see it because it was a nice religious ceremony in St. Charles. But they're going to Cuba. Who knows what Fippo has got planned? You never know. I'm sure Faye gave that some careful consideration.
I did. I really did.
Now, still talking about Faye, which is one of my primary duties, of course. It's said the fathers have a special bond with their daughters. Isn't that right, babe? Well, mine really came to the fore when she was about 18 months old, 2 years old, and had a perfectly good policy with the kids. We wanted them in their rooms as quickly as we could get them. So we had the cots sorted. We were a little bit worried about Faye because the boys could sleep all night, but Faye was a little bit different. She just couldn't sleep properly. So we lowered the size of the cots. We were in our room. We now got a nice bedroom with an ensuite, which in later years Faye really wanted, but she never got near, for obvious reasons, for those who know her quite well. So we're in bed, and wants them in their own room, which is, I think, good plan for children. But asleep, or half asleep, because you never sleep properly, well, I never slept properly with the kids. And next thing you hear, the rattle of the cot. And it was a rattle. Next thing, thump. Because Faye, a strong child, a strong baby. Next thing, across the wooden floors, into our room. Before she comes in, I say, Anne's awake, I'm awake, what are we going to do? Just lay there motionless was the plan. So I'm laying on my side with my eyes closed. Faye, in a lovely little baby grow, parks herself in front of me on more than one occasion.
Every night.
I know she's staring at me, but I can't open my eyes. So I'm laying there in the bed, thinking, what do I do? Next thing, I can feel it coming closer. So I half open my eyes, half of one, and inches from me, these two beaming pupils right in my face. As soon as she sees I'm awake, that's it. This, the baby who can't sleep, is over me like a shot. In the middle, arms stretched. Sleep straight to the night. Never, ever went to her mother's side. Never, ever bothered her mother. Never, ever. I realised pretty quickly at that stage that our Faye knew her own mind. She knew what she wanted and she knew how to get it. That's for sure. And she gets a little bit up there. Faye's always had a steely determination. Now, was it a PE teacher from St. Julie's who called you stubborn?
Yeah.
I would never do that, Faye. Never called you stubborn. But let me think back. A couple of years later, you're about 8 or 9. Luckily, we're off to Disney again. We've been there 2 years before, as I say, luckily again. So we've got a rough idea of the layout. We know the parks, we know the shops, we know Universal, we know all the Disney parks. Anne comes up with a brilliant idea. 3 kids, should be quite responsible. Let's give them $100 each to spend. A lot of money in the year 2000, 2002. A lot of money. The boys, and I can sing the praises now, I'm not supposed to talk about the boys, but very clever. We've got a choice of Toy Story stuff, Universal stuff, Star Wars, these wonderful $15 comics, really thick, good price. We think they'll plan it out. Do you want to tell them what we Faye, 2 days, the lot is gone. $100 gone. Little Mermaid outfit, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely.
And all the accessories. And we thought, well, that's fair. So, Tom, are there any little characteristics or talents that you've noticed?
I don't want to talk about Tony.
But Faye has, as those who know her quite well, taken her love of Disney well beyond their youth, well beyond their teens, and now into her adulthood. And I think she'd like to go back again. I wonder what makes you think that.
She hasn't said.
You said?
No, I've never mentioned it.
I don't know. Anybody want to come with us? Enjoy the company. Wouldn't get us that far now. You know, but then we move through the years. Faye moves into the teens and then young adulthood. And then you get this thing of being a parent, being a father, and a lot of us in the room, fathers, looking up to be fathers. You know the situation, you worry an awful lot about your children. I'm sure Faye would call me a little bit overprotective at that stage. I was the one, I couldn't sleep. If any of them were out, I couldn't sleep. I could hear the taxis from half a mile away, thinking this is them now. Now, they all had a curfew. They either had to be in for 4 o'clock or let us know. I'm not even going to mention John. I remember this one night, and it sticks in my mind this one night. Faye's going out. I'm thinking she's going to a fancy dress. She's got this hat on, the pumps, she's got a nice white polo shirt, and for those of us that love the golf, she's got these +4s on. I'm thinking she's going to play, you know, have a good time, it's a fancy dress, and you look really good there. No, a game called pub golf.
Yeah.
I don't even have to explain it. Pub golf. Those of us who play golf, there was 18 rounds. Pub golf was 18 drinks or more. Faye, true to form, she does let us know. She was really good at letting us know where she was, but she rolls in a little bit the worse for wear. Slightly the worse for wear. So we bring it in, we hear the key, we bring it in. Anne takes it into the bedroom. Not to embarrass you, my dear, but Anne undresses her, lays her on the bed. This is a girl in her early 20s, and we're putting the pillow behind her back so that she doesn't roll over in the seat. We're that worried about her. All you get out of Faye is, I may have been a bit sick, Mum, but I won, I'm the champion of football. Where do you get this competitive spirit from?
You?
Oh. But now, this beautiful, loving, caring, thoughtful young woman has managed to turn the tables on us. Because we live close to each other, and on the odd occasions, well, it's more than odd occasion. I've told you.
Sorry. Don't take away the gardening, please.
You'll carry on with your garden, man.
That's good. Thanks.
Now, when we get home, we've got to call or text Faye to say we're safely home. I'm 65, I can walk down the road, I know the way.
Who's out? You don't know who's out.
Anybody who's local knows I'm from the Dingle.
Oh yeah.
Now times
You are
have
from
changed.
Dingle.
But now, as we move on, professionally, Faye is in her third job now, and she had a placement in Scammerdale. She also set out there. She got a job in Carnarvon where they were lucky enough to both meet. She's now got the responsibility of bringing through year 12, year 13 students getting ready for university life. Those of you that have been to university know that's not easy, but she's managed to do that well. We are so proud of the effort she put in, and we're so proud we see the effort she puts in, and we don't tell her enough. But one thing that does puzzle me, how come you make it to the gym every day for 4 o'clock? You're so determined in this job.
Time management, that.
Time management. Then, luckily enough for us, and for Faye, Tom comes along. Now we realised very early on that Tom was on our wavelength about Faye. And that happened one day. Tom was living in Woodhead.
Disney Princess.
Not that refined, Richard, not that refined. Tom's in Woodhead. Faye's with us. Faye says, Tom's calling around, we're going to IKEA. So Tom rolls up the door. Tom thinking, he's going to IKEA, we're going to get some wardrobes. Faye's going to give me a hand, a little bit of DIY. No. Faye, those of you that know her well, doesn't cross the door unless she looks right. Do you, sweetie?
No.
So Tom rolls up and looks at her and says, you look more like you're going to a country man than going to IKEA and some DIY. So pretty soon Tom's on our wavelength there. Having said that though, Tom, I'm sure you'll agree that the dress code was wrong that day, but the dress code today is unbelievable. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. We know, because we obviously talk about both of you, that you're perfect with each other. You're a perfect fit. We know that. And we're so convinced of that, well, Anne's more convinced than me. Christopher's got a friend who's a solicitor. Now, we're thinking about getting a contract drawn up, but there's no buyback clause. We love her dearly, but she's gone. No buyback clause. Now, you must be getting bored of me. It's time for me to give some advice. Or not. Well, a 5-word sentence, Tom. It will give you a perfect base for your relationship. I'll buy that for you. Absolutely perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. But more importantly, on a serious note, relationships, marriages, they're not about finding someone you can live with. It's finding someone you can't live without. And you two have got that in massive abundance. There's absolutely no doubt about that. But if that doesn't work, I've found over the years, Mitchell women love a bit of jewellery. Not only love a bit of jewellery, but if you've got some family heirlooms in gold, they can melt them down to some of the So, if that doesn't work,
It's a shock.
get yourself to Makoko or Pandora. They love it there. But, ladies, gentlemen, children, on a really serious note, it really is my pleasant duty and undeniable honour to ask you all, if you haven't charged your glasses, to charge them now. And we'll have a toast to my beautiful daughter and my extremely handsome son-in-law, Fippo. Thank you very much.
Shut up, Connor, it'll be yours soon.
Shut it, Thomas.
Sorry.
It's nice to see you showing a bit more respect now, actually. So we've come to the stage tonight. We've had some fantastic main course, and here we are for the man of the day. What I would say is that I've known Tom the whole of my life. Pat and Martin, Richard and Tom were my second family growing up. I have a lot of very fond memories at his house and my house, and I've got a lot of love for him. I think I would say also that all you have to do is look around this room to realise that the sort of guy Tom is. His friends, his family are fantastic people, welcoming, and really are a great view of what Tom really is. On the flip side, when Faye said he came out of nowhere, some of us were worried that he was in the closet at that point. And also, one piece of advice to Tom as a married man is that enjoy this speech, because it's probably the only word you'll get in edgeways. Here we are for the speech, for the groom of the day, Tommy Tittlemouse.
You ever get a feeling that you've been screwed over by absolutely everyone that cast you up here already?
No.
You got it.
Bit harsh, I think, Wednesday.
I know, I've got you two to come, it's alright. So, first thing first, I think the best way to kick this off is to say a massive thank you to my gorgeous wife. Because without this, we wouldn't be able to have this lovely day, so
And everyone will probably still think that you were gay.
well, nice. Never say never, Faye. It's early in the night, it's okay. Sorry, Tony.
What am I to spend your wedding on?
Right. There are a number of people that I need to kind of thank for allowing us to have this day. And the first people that I'd like to thank is this man and my mum. For not just bringing me into this world, but for kind of instilling in me the values and the morals that I hope that I can live by and kind of hopefully one day pass on to our children. You and Mum were fantastic and are fantastic role models, and I can only just hope that I can be half the person that you are. Mum was. lot to them, to both mum and dad, mainly for kind of the amount of time that they put into me, for overcoming my very many special issues that I had kind of growing up, kind of speech therapy. Red has got a great number for you, it's all right. Being colourblind, being dyslexic, all of those. But more importantly as well, for pitting me against my brother over there, to just toughen me up just a little bit. Because without you, Richard, as well, without your constant taunting, over bullying, fat shaming.
It worked, though, didn't it?
It has worked, because I don't think that I would have been able to persuade this one to spend the rest of her life with me.
No,
Best
probably
of her life with me.
Still making it
I'd also like to thank Richard for the amazing wedding cake that he's made for us.
Go on, Tim.
And for being so generous in saying that you'd made that for us, it does mean the world to us. And thank you very much for that.
You weren't eating it yet.
Stay away from the cake. Anne and Tony, well, thank you for producing this one. I know that it was never an easy journey to kind of get into this stage. And I know I've seen the excitement in your eyes, Tony, today when you kind of gave up that duty, but sorry.
No, he's still got that duty.
But I think you've done a damn fine job, although I do think that you could have put a little bit more care into the domestication of Well, we won't go down that. We'll discuss that later on. There was a clause, by the way. I am a good cook. I just need a good cleaner. From the very first time that I met you both, and I mistook Tony for the mechanic that was working under the car at the time. Faye told me my dad's bold. He's working on the car today. I turned up for like one of our first dates, and there was a bald bloke underneath the car outside their house. All right, Tony. So he looks at me and says, my name's Ray. Great start. Thank you very much. But honestly, from the very first time that I met you, you've made me feel so welcome. You've even bought me kind of port and cheese for my after meal kind of dining.
You are a tough.
Yeah, well, yeah. I've been told that a few times. But honestly, it's from the bottom of my heart that I thank you. Now, a lot of you might not know that Anne and Tony pretty much became my 24-hour on-call builders, plumbers, decorators, support workers when I moved into our first house on Woodhay Road, which was also known as the Money Pit. I wouldn't have been able to make it through some of those dark times, very damp times, without you both. And honestly, that went so far to cementing kind of us as family that I can't even kind of go to any way to show you that. I'll also just like to kind of say thank you to the extended Mitchell family for welcoming so full-heartedly into your family. You've always shown me every bit of kind of love and support. I couldn't do it without you. Even yourself, Jonathan, you know.
Single speech.
Don't put you in there. One day you'll be a what? Wow. I must say a massive and special thank you to the absolutely gorgeous bridesmaids and our very stunning first little bridesmaid over there, Grace.
Yeah.
helping Faye in her preparations to make her look so fantastic as she does today.
Took a while.
So, I'd also just like to say a massive thank you to my best man and my groomsmen today for bearing with me with the 1001 suit choices and mistakes with all of that we had, and for putting together this day and my statement and everything. And you know, you mean the world to me, and thank you so much for being here to share this day with us. I think it would be remiss of me if I didn't say, on behalf of both of us, a massive thank you to all of you that are here today. The reason that you are here today with us is because you're all special to us. Each and every one of you means the world to us, and you wouldn't be here unless you have done something specifically to ignite the fire in Faye and I that makes us want to have you here. So I'd just like to take this moment just to raise a glass to yourselves and to just say to friends and family, and thank you very much. Friends and family, just Alright, pipe down.
Sure.
Right.
Put your glass
Yeah, right. You haven't finished yet, you haven't got away yet. Now it's time to talk a little bit about my wife. I've got one of them now. A lot of people are always a bit shocked when they, and a bit taken aback when they meet Faye and I.
Could you so go?
Phantosaurus. I can't wait to heckle you. Give him a punch. Over the time that we've been together, I've noticed a bit of a trend in what normally kind of happens. And this is pretty much exactly what happens. So we meet someone, and I'll say, okay, this is Faye, this is my girlfriend. Now I'll be able to say, this is my wife. And this is exactly what happens. They look at me. They look at Faye. They look back to me. And then back to Faye. And it's like, you scratch your leg and it's just like, mate, you're punching. I must admit, I think today you have completely outshone me.
Well, it is my day.
It's in the balance. I mean, people have said that I look pretty dapper, but like, she looks alright, right? So.
These gay guys.
It might come as a massive surprise to a lot of you, but I had to play the game pretty well to swindle Faye into kind of going out with me for the first time. And I'll put this all down to the 3 P's to success. Perseverance, perseverance, and perseverance. Now, not all of those P's are directly kind of linked to myself. The first one, which is perseverance in the dating game, does go to myself, because it's taken me a little bit of a long time to get to this point where I found my one, Faye. From the very first moment that I met Faye, I knew that she was the girl for me. And it took a lot of elaborate planning, a lot of tactical ignoring of Faye, and an outstanding assembly on jumping fleas to achieve, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, to achieve my first date with Faye. So the first one, I'm going to attribute to myself, perseverance in the dating game. The second P, however, I think has a lot more to do with Faye here. And it's perseverance in the face of adversity. Now, Tony mentioned this earlier on. Faye was an extraordinarily physically strong child.
It's alright, Tom, you can say I was fat.
No, it's not that. I think you had super strength, because it wasn't until like Faye, Anne and Tony knew that it was pretty much kind of a set deal, that we were going to be together for a long time, that they started to kind of just drop in little snippets of stories from Faye's past. And it was over dinner one night that they told a story about a young girl of about 10 years old who had single-handedly destroyed a solid wood wardrobe that was built just because of its indestructible nature. I thought, you know, what? She's not that much of a bull in a china shop. Until I started to kind of live with her for a few months and then years, and started to notice things aren't really lasting that long, are they? No more so than when I came home one day to kind of walk into your dressing room or your pit to find the door of the wardrobe hanging up. I was like, bloody hell, Faye, I can't test these so long and hard to stop this from happening. So, Faye, second one, perseverance in the face of adversity. Goes to yourself.
To IKEA.
To persevering to kind of make sure things last. The last P, though, is all on Faye. And it's perseverance to remain my support throughout. She's managed to put up with my borderline obsessive cleaning.
Borderline?
Yeah.
Spin off.
My inability to dance. No, put your hand down, there's no questions from the audience. And more importantly, persevered with my constant blindness, colour blindness issues that I have. It's especially when it comes to kind of selecting decor maybe for the house. I'm not sure what I've done to be so lucky to find someone who always makes me laugh, who is so unbelievably affectionate to me on a day-to-day basis that I can't even put into words, Faye, how much that means to me. You have supported me through some really, really tough times. And never asked for anything in return, and always given me nothing but love. And for that, I'm eternally grateful that I can today call you my wife. So, on that, I'd just like everyone to raise their glasses to my new wife, Faye Catherine Mitchell. To you, Faye.
You Faye. She's fine now.
I'm looking forward to it. Sean?
Get it together.
Sean and the Love Island boys. Happy about that. Anyway, I've got a few boos then as well, but yeah, I didn't realise it was not that bad. But anyway, it'll be the last time you see me, which is, I think, great for me and for you. We've got the Crown and Glory. I'm a bit nervous about this one, to be honest, because I think one of them's quite prepared and one of them's not, if I'm honest.
Ollie, you've really let us off now.
You're out of control, really.
Two guys that Rich I've known a long time. Ollie, funny enough, I have known a long time, but just very sporadically over the years. And yeah, he's not really changed at all. Since he was 19, I think, the first time. Organised a great stag do, thank you very much for that. I think everyone can say, from Tony through to Tom to everyone, we had a great time with the races. They're now going to be hilariously funny, obviously, and be very tactful with it and not offend anyone, I'm sure. So, we've now got the best men. Welcome up for the speech is Richard and Ollie.
Glasses on.
Is it Clark Kent?
Hey, you back down, mate. You got your chance in a minute, yeah? It's a bit big for you, big. Thank you for the introduction, Jamie. That was kind. I won't lie, I'm actually, I don't really get nervous these days, but I'm a bit nervous because obviously the speeches from you three have all been absolutely fantastic. And I think in terms of weddings, we only got married a week or so ago, but the speeches here have just been, you know, amazing. So well done to all of you. For those of you that don't know me, I'm obviously Ollie, I'm Pippo's mate. I've been mates for a while. And I want to start by saying how glorious Faye looks today on her wedding day. You know, you look absolutely amazing, and Pippo is truly looking. In terms of the bridesmaids as well, all look fantastic, as does everyone here actually today. And now a little bit about our mate Pippo. Okay? Oh yeah! Great start. That's it. So, firstly, to clarify, Pippo's name, Phipps, is spelled P-H-I-P-P-S. Phipps. Now, a lot of people get this wrong, okay? It's not Fibs, Fibsy, Fitch, Fitchy, or Fitcherson, like all the kids at school call him. It's Phipps, okay? And he's a man with many nicknames, to be quite honest, and unfortunately, most of them aren't that complimentary. Tommy Taddlemouse, we've heard today.
It's Tiddlemouse.
Get off!
I see what's happening. Whatever.
They could ignore them, they come round here.
I'll leave your own speech. You haven't even written it yet. Yeah, so call yourself a brother. Disgrace, man. So, back to my speech, Rich. Tony Hibbert, any Evertonians amongst us? Yeah.
Show put your hand down.
Farmer Phipps, and my personal favourite, Benjiman. Benjiman in the house. Now, a lot of you probably won't, and this is no disrespect to Benjiman, not Benjiman. This owes to Pippo's suave style at university. If you remember him, like beanie on, baggy jeans, looking a bit sort of, yeah, homeless. Yeah, he said homeless is a great description. And he's also created one for himself, which I'm not going to go into, but that is Beast. If you get a chance tonight, ask him about Beast. He'll tell you. Oh, he'll tell you. Anyway, so before Pippo was lucky enough to meet Faye, he did what some would call quite the amount of community service. Time spent, you know, out in the wild, holding his pulling skills. Some real beauties, real beauties. There's this one time in the student union. Oh, you I've got to go for it, haven't I? I've got to. Pippo was giving this girl, no offence, you weren't born at the time. Pippo's giving this girl the eye, you know, giving her the eye. Giving her that look. Come on, it's alright. I'm sure the gents among us, you know, back in our younger days, we've all given the look, haven't we? You know, you're out on the pull and the girl catches your eye. So you're giving her the look. And he gives her the look, doesn't he, you know. And she looks back. And he's like, hello? Hello? So he looks back again. She looks back again at him. And their eyes meet. She's a little coy, maybe even a little nervous.
Definitely nervous.
She's very nervous. She turns back and fixes his gaze again. Sure enough, she's walking over. Fibsy strikes again. He's thinking, what's she gonna say? What will I say back? Where are we going on our first date? The possibilities are endless. Here it comes, he thinks. Can you stop staring at me, please? The mystery to me, and I'm sure a lot of you are thinking this, and I've known this character 15,
You just
16,
leave it alone. It's going on. We know where you're going to go with it.
It's right. We're going there.
Yeah, I know you're going there.
How has this man got any hair at all? And I was going to be inappropriate then. I remember the night with me and Fippo, right, for these uni people, we're in a Hardman Pizza, right?
Classy establishment.
CCTV's up there, and you know, we stumble in, we're cheese and chips, please, mate, and you know, Hawaiian pizza. Fippo like stumbles next to me and he goes, "Oh, I am completely bald." There's one of them lights, you know, like proper down on it. You could see every inch of the man's scalp. You really could. And he said, "You know, I'm just so bald," and he was right. He was bald, absolutely bald, right? And I literally remember it like it was yesterday. And the biggest mystery that I'm getting to is, how does he seem to have more now than he did then? It has to be a bit of work done, a bit of hands transplant. Has to be. One of life's great mysteries, mate. Oh,
Cheers, Al.
so, I'm sorry, listen, he did it to me. So, seriously though, if you know, Faye's getting a lot from football. She really is. She's getting a 24-hour day carer. An excellent cleaner. Fippo is, and I'm sure he's used this catchphrase at home. Ooh, we'll do a deep clean.
A deep clean.
It's probably like Saturday morning, like 9 a.m, right? And you're just waking up, Fipple's there with the marigolds on. Right, so I know we're supposed to be having fun because it's weekend, but we'll do a deep clean.
Oh, this is my
It's like
life.
this Clay's look in his eye, he's already had 2 espressos, no sleep, no sleep. And I have to say, I can account for this. He cleaned for me for 10 years. Cleaned for me for 10 years, and I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. He's also very good at Tesco food shops. You know, if you're a computer folk like me, you know, online, Fippo's at it. You know, he will do that for you, and I'm sure he does that in your household.
We're old here, you messing with Tesco prices.
Tesco.
Prices.
And obviously general day-to-day bills. And also, excellent gardener. If you are above 40 and you live on Fippo's estate, he will take his top off and he will garden topless. He'll do it for you. I remember at Southmeads, he was at it. Right, Phil, Pat, yeah. Fippo was small talking with all of them.
Gene.
Lastly, he's an excellent night watchman because he does not do sleep. He literally hates. In fact, last night he was going through what he did to get sleep. He's like, right, I'm definitely getting some sleep tonight. I've had some, what's that, Sleepies. I had 2 paracetamol. Right? I had, what's that stuff that you spray around the room?
Rescue.
Yeah, all of it. Right? How many hours do you get?
About 5 or 6.
About 5 hours.
It's solid, solid.
But I'm going to be nice to him now because he was nice to me.
Cheers.
Fippo, as he's known to his mates, he's one of those guys, he's an absolute giver. Right? Other day, you know, do you want a lift to the airport? I was like, no, Fippo, I don't want a lift to the airport. No, I'll give you a lift to the airport. No, he will do anything for anybody. Right? He hasn't got a bad bone in his body, and he's a helper, he's a doer. He is just the nicest guy. I'm sure you all would understand this, you know, that you'll ever meet. He really is. He's considerate, he's kind, and he's always, as I say, ready to give a hand. He's also there for the people he cares about, and he's always been there for me. And I've got a lot of first-hand experience with this, and I will always be dead to Fippo. You know, I lived with him for a very long time. Jokes aside, he's been an absolute rock for me over the last 10 years. He's one of the few people that doesn't have an ego unless he's wearing his blazer of arrogance. And then you watch out because he's about. And he's summed up like fine wine for me. He's one of the few people, as well as Sean actually, that seems to be getting better with age. Which bodes well for him and Faye really, seeing as he's 55 years old. Now it's at this point that I'm supposed to give some advice to the married couple. Now, I think Faye and Pippo in the last 5 minutes found out I've got no advice. I'm the last person to give advice. But if I was to give advice, and it's not on marriage, it is take that woman to Disney. You've got to take her probably on her 30th birthday. But no one's ever lived to 122. But seriously, Pippo has been an unbelievable friend to me and to all of us, and you know, I love him to bits, and I'd like to take this opportunity. These two are an absolutely fantastic match. They really are. They balance each other out perfectly, and they're a great team. And I wish them all the best on their special day. So to Tom and Faye.
Sorry. Oh. Wait for it. Here we go. Evening. It's been a long day, isn't it? Jesus. First of all, congratulations to you both. Faye, from myself and Dad. Welcome to the family. I mean, for Middle Earth. When Faye first came down to Alf Church to meet us, well, meet Mum and Dad, she said it was like coming to Middle Earth. A little bit like the Hobbits, wanting to have power over everyone. Unfortunately, Tom's not the one with the ring. And as his bald spot on the back here proves, that's definitely Faye's thumbprint there. Thank you both for a fabulous day. Faye, you look absolutely stunning, as does the bridesmaids, the groomsmen, and everybody else today. Grace, you look stunning, my love. Absolutely beautiful. I've got to apologise because I told everybody that Finn's terror and he's been really good today. So I'll take that back. Anne and Tony, from the first moment that we met you, you've been nothing but amazing towards us. We can't thank you enough for what you do for my brother, for what you do for Faye. The love that you've shown to Grace and to Finn is unbelievable from people that we don't often meet. The way that you took Grace in today means more to me and Sean than you'll ever know. So, thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts, because it just means so much. Thank you very much. For us, it's a beautiful time. I'm just sorry that Mum couldn't be here to see it today, but she'll be with us looking down.
She's here.
And she'd just be over the moon that Tom's not gay. She was, for a long time, she was worried that Tom was gay.
That was all to do with you, Rich.
But she would always say, it doesn't matter if he's gay, I still love him. And, you know, we do love him. When Tom first told us that he'd found somebody at school, I mean, to say our arses are quick to
luckily for us, Faye wasn't in the sixth form. So, all bets aside, everyone's a winner. And for a long time, I always thought I was the #1 child. I'll be honest with you, I thought I was the favourite. And then I sat down the other day to write my speech. It's evident. And I thought about it, and I thought, maybe I wasn't the #1 child because they never took me to the doctors because they thought I had bow legs. They never took me to the doctors because they thought I was fat. And they never took me to the doctors because I needed to have speech therapy. But then maybe that's because I was eating too much cake.
He doesn't like the hair.
He doesn't, does he? He doesn't like the hair.
Leave his hair alone now.
It's
It's precious and far between. We need to save every moment.
But look, thank you all for coming today on this day that possibly a lot of us never saw coming. He once told a girl that he was emotionally dead inside.
Yeah, he did as well.
And she's here today! I couldn't afford the airfare. I love you from the bottom of my heart. You are the most precious thing to me, along with my family, with Dad. Faye, welcome to our family. You know how much we think of you. You're absolutely beautiful. Thank you for everything you do for him. You've got a carer.
Finally.
Finally. Your expenses are going to go down, Tony. But most of all, thank you everyone for turning up today. It truly is a mark of unbelievable love. How much, these people that are here today mean the world to these two. And it's a mark to Thomas, just, how hard he's tried to keep his looks. Because he has had a few teeth. I love you.